These protests are happening at campuses all over the country. Our state Capitol Bureau Chief Vanessa Kelson spent the day at UW-Madison's encampment, getting more details on what students are demanding.
It's day 2 of the encampment at the University of Wisconsin at Madison's campus. This afternoon, students shared snacks, crocheted, and held teach-ins, all while awaiting the response to their demands to cut ties with Israel.
Yeah, we'll be here indefinitely.
Abby Klein, a first-year psychology PhD student,
I am Jewish.
is sleeping here at the encampment outside of Memorial Library.
It feels like we can achieve something together.
UW Students for Justice in Palestine posting 6 demands.
I think those six asks are unbelievably reasonable.
Asking the university to disclose what it's investing in.
I think it's shameful that we have to ask to know where our tuition dollars are going, especially when we're at a public university.
And to divest or sell any of its holdings in companies accused by the American Friends Service Committee of being complicit in the war. How did you decide on that list?
Sorry, give me a second. So we decided on that list because the American Friends Service Committee has centralized this list of companies that focus on occupation, militarized borders, and prisons. And because UW Foundation has not disclosed their investments to us, we had to find an external list.
Plus, organizers are asking the school to call for a ceasefire, halt study abroad in Israel, remove cops from campus, and for campus to stop expanding in Madison. What happens if maybe 1 or 2 of the demands are met?
It's all depending on, let me pause. We are going to keep demonstrating until all of our demands are met.
The university did not respond to multiple requests for comment about how they will respond to these demands.
All I can say is that I hope they do, and it's shameful if they don't.
Students tell me they have no plans on leaving until every demand is met.